And the semifinals, we are against first Lurus deck of this tournament. We opened this hand, and even against Lurus decks that have like creatures, this hand is not good enough. Then we opened this hand, just 3 lands, 3 creatures, and the Lava Dart, which against like most Lurus decks, it's pretty good. I decided to put back Sacred Foundry. We don't know what our opponent is playing. They can be playing, for example, Burn, and this mountain is better in that spot. And we want to have like land in the graveyard for Dragon's Rage Channeler. We are on the play, so we play. We don't know, so we play what our opponent is playing. So we play Soulscore Mage, because like it's the safest turn 1 play against most decks. They play Bloodstained Mire, Finding Mountain, so we still don't know what they are up to. From the Bloodstained Mire, I thought that maybe this is a Grixis Shadow, but fetching Mountain is pretty strange. They kill our creature. We draw Inspiring Vantage, which is a good, like, okay, maybe medium. We attack them for 1. We have 2 creatures on board, so our board state is pretty strong. We have an answer for their Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is good. They fetch Watery Grave, so this means that they are on Grixis Shadow, most likely, or other Grixis variant. They bin the Watery Grave and play the Thoughtseize. They didn't know how awkward it is, but they have to take this Lava Dart, and at this point, like, we drew Light Up the Stage, and we could just attack and play it post-combat, but I want to like push my advantage even more, look for the good cards, and we could cast Light Up first, but playing Lava Dart on Dragon's Rage, like, we for sure are darting Dragon's Rage Channeler this turn, because we already have 3 lands, so losing 1 is not the biggest cost, and giving them like Delirium next turn is big for them, like filtering the draw. So we could just crack the fetch first. Of course, we can find Sacred Foundry to have like double white for lures, because it can matter, and we have pretty high life total. We took the red mana and cast Lava Dart to give us 1 more Surveil trigger before this light up. We saw another Lava Dart, so we happily bin it. And after that we cast Light Up the Stage. We bin another Lava Dart, that's the 3rd one of the game. We revealed Prismatic Ending and Monastery Swift Spear, and we already have Delirium. We attack them for 6, so they are down to 7, and they can't really play creatures at this point, because like we can answer any of their threats with Prismatic Ending. They don't have a land, like they played nothing. Okay, they play something at the end step. Okay, that's Dress Down, which turns off Delirium on our DRC. Turns off Prowess on our Monastery Swift Spear, and turns off Haste on our another Monastery Swift Spear. So it was a good play by our opponent. We drew Path, which is pretty good top deck, considering that like we are losing this game mostly to Death's Shadow, or like other big creatures that they can have. I counted the damage, because like the obvious line would be like Swift Spear and just attack for 2, but we could have Prismatic Ending the Dress Down to turn down our creatures, but it would be like 4 damage plus we can only flashback one lava dart, so that's 6 damage, so putting them on 1 and losing land in process is not worth it. So we attacked for 2 and just played Monastery Swift Spear. Because we want to have like as many creatures as possible. Let's see what they have. They fetched another basic. They are at 4. They cast Croxa, which like most likely smells like concession to me. I decided to puff it because like losing 3 life doesn't really matter at this point, and having like extra surveil is good. Like we have this game wrapped up pretty much. But they would see this path, and like it's a good habit to like give ourselves as many chances as possible to find good cards to play around stuff. I don't know what, but still. And this game, we won the game 1 against Grixis Shadow. I think this is like favorable, but only by a small margin for us, this matchup. So let's see if we can do good as well in game 2. So game 2 in the semifinals against Grixis Shadow, I sided in 1 prismatic ending, 2 path to exiles, like those were the obvious ones. I was pondering about like graveyard hate, but I thought that this matchup is not about like this graveyard value, but against like having the better board state, having removal for the threats. So I didn't put them in. I have problems like what I want to trim. Finally, I trimmed like 1 Soul Scar, 1 Ragavan, 1 Light Up, but I'm not really sure about this. Like, I think I wouldn't sideboard the same now. And I remember that I was quite low on time when I was making the last decisions. I had to go to the toilet. So this might not be the best sideboarding. Because I think like we need threats to have in hand. We open this hand on the draw. This hand is like okay, but we really need to find the second land, and we are pretty bad against like turn 1 Ragavan on the play from our opponent. But I think it's worth keeping this hand. They started with Basic Mountain. They really like their Basic Mountain. Like I don't really understand that, because like it making their Drown in the Log pretty awkward. But okay. They've been the Terminate, so they are looking for something for sure, because Terminate is like okay card in this matchup. We didn't find land. We fetch for Sacred Foundry, like for sure, because we want white mana. I cast Dragon's Rage Channeler because I want to cast Mishra's Bubble and look for a land. I didn't find it, so I bin it. I'm not cracking Bubble right away because like they are the discard deck. We crack the Bubble on their upkeep. We see Kalagan's Command, which is card we for sure have to remember about, because it can be pretty strong, like killing our creature and returning their creature from the graveyard. They cast Croxa, which is like not doing anything at this point. Like it's worse than any other card that they could have played. We discarded Path to Exile because I thought that we need every other card more, and we have like this exile effects. Like we still have 1 more exile effect, and we can have we can find more of them. They have to attack because they have Delirium, and we are not blocking, because like both of us losing life I think favors us more than them, and we really need to connect with our creature to play Light Up. We fortunately find the second land, so that's good. And at this point we had like decision point. We could have played like Dragon's Rage Channeler plus Light Up, could have played like Ragavan plus Light Up, but I decided that I want to play like 2 creatures. The only downside of this line is if they have Engineered Explosives on one, because they can like sweep our board and we're ending with nothing, like only draw spells. But it has like pretty big upside of like applying pressure, because like we know that this Dragon's Rage Channeler is not blocking anytime soon, and if they would take 8, that's most of their life total. They attack for free. We are not blocking. We are still at 9, which is quite high life total. So we play. We feel safe. They cast this Kolaghan's command that we know about to kill our Ragavan and to make us discard. They bin the Mishra's Bubble, and we decided to discard Reckless Impulse. I was saying that Reckless Impulse is better than Light Up the Stage, but at this moment, like we can, like it doesn't really matter if we would cast Reckless Impulse on first main phase, and we know that we are for sure dealing damage to them on the next turn, so we can play this Light Up for 1 mana. Just like better to cast spell for 1 mana than for 2. We draw Lava Dart. Just okay draw. You can deal with Ragavan. We have double Surveil. We keep the Sacred Foundry because like we want to cast all of our spells. We Prismatic Ending the Dragon's Rage Channeler because like if they put us at 6, that's can give them some way to kill us. We keep the Swift Spear because like with all of those spells, this Swift Spear is getting in for sure. I made a mistake because I'm at 9 and I should have played it untapped to like have this path and this Lava Dart open, because being at 7 doesn't really matter. I can't really die, but having answer for Dash to Ragavan, which happens, we know what we are drawing, so we know that they will find Monastery Swift Spear, which is not doing anything because they, at this point, they need to remove at least one of our channelers. They cast Expressive Iteration. They found a swamp. They cast Shadow, but at this point, they wished us good luck in the finals. And yeah, that's it. I advanced to the finals. I was at this point pretty happy because that was my first final of the Modern Challenge. I reached challenge once, but it was in Pauper, so it doesn't really count. So let's see how the finals will end.